Hey Snappers, I'm LaurenWhatevs, here to tell you about the newest card in MarvelSnap, Namarita. Namarita is both the daughter and clone of Namora comics, Namora being Namor's cousin. She's an Atlantean who has all those powers, and also, like Namor, has little wings on her ankles and she can fly. In MarvelSnap, she's a 3/5 who discounts every single card you draw by 1, as long as she's the only card at her location. Having to keep her by herself is a little tricky, but it's totally doable most of the time. Of course, your opponents can send stuff to you, or Central Park might show up and put squirrels all over the board, but most of the time, you're good to just keep her alone until the very end of the game when you can fill her location. I did sometimes feel like it would be easier to know where to put her if there were a 4th location, but let's just get into the games. I've got a lot of decks to show you. The first deck here is a Patriot draw deck. Obviously, one of the best ways to take advantage of Namarita's ability is to draw as many cards as you can. So this deck is using King Eitri, Adam Warlock, and Crystal as ways to draw extra cards and get extra discounts out of Namarita. We have Shadowlands Daredevil here, and it is really cool to draw 0-cost demons. You can also save the cheap cards in your hand, stack up some extra draws, and get extra power from Kahori before slamming them all down on one of the later turns. Valkyrie has a lot of support here to win her lane. You could either have Patriot out and get buffs from him, or you could play Valkyrie first and then play a demon or martyr after her to secure the win. This deck is a just for fun, greedy combo that I wanted to show off. There are certainly simpler ways to use Cable, and I have him in a deck later on. But in this case, I'm playing Hydro Man and Cable on the second to last turn. Hydro Man discounts the top card of both decks to 1. Cable steals the card from my opponent's deck. Namarita discounts it to 0. And then the next card I draw also gets discounted to 0. And I'm able to play tons of cards on the last turn of the game.
I am Iron Man.
This next deck is the one I'm most excited to try Namarita in. It's a Loki deck, and we're using Loki, Quinjet, and Namarita all as ways to discount cards. If you get any 2 of them, you're going to be getting double discounts on some cards. I had the perfect hand in this clip. I had both Namarita and Loki, so I was safe playing Loki right away. I knew I could play Namarita on 3, and then every card I drew after that was getting doubly discounted. It was awesome. Of course, not every game is going to get the perfect hand. This deck has backup plans. It has other ways to create cards which can synergize with Quinjet and Gambit Horseman of Death, and it also uses high power cards and Techno-Organic Virus to generate power on games where you don't play Loki. Silver Surfer is an especially strong home for Namarita. That 1-cost discount goes further on smaller cards, and Surfer has tons of small cards. It has absolutely no problem filling Namarita's lane on the last turn if that's what you need to do to win, and of course, Namarita herself is a Silver Surfer target. Carter, Maverick, Jubilee Silver Surfer, and Stick are all really strong cards that can receive buffs and pass them along. Admittedly, nowadays it's not so much a Silver Surfer deck as it is a forward your buffs deck. My Namarita Surfer deck also features Triton, who will be available through Grand Arena in a couple days. Triton gives bonus power to the last character played on the previous turn for both players. That's normally a pretty risky downside, but with cards like Maverick and Stick in the deck, you can see it's pretty easy to stretch Triton's buff further than your opponent does. I really wanted to try Namarita in the Thanos deck. With the Infinity Stones, that's a deck that naturally draws more than most decks do, and is really cool drawing free stones. The recently buffed Magus is here and has several good targets. If you skip 3 energy, he could either be Marvel Blade or Namarita. Make sure you play him by himself in his lane. Or there might be situations where you want to skip all 4 energy and have him take Iska's ability. The last deck I have for you today might look silly, but I'm serious. It's a deck that features 8 4-cost cards, and then it has cards like Surge, Zabu, and Namarita to discount those cards. The 4s here are mostly generically strong ones that you're happy to play whenever you can. Notably, if you get 2 discounted 4-cost cards, you can play them both on turn 6. On top of that, it's pretty easy to get multiple discounts going at the same time. In my first attempt, I actually had Stardust and Ensabanur both in the same deck as generically strong 4-cost cards, and it wasn't until I had them both in my hand at the same time that I realized Stardust was going to be a problem for Ensabanur's ability. She would stop him from adding a card to the board. So unfortunately, I had to hold on to her the whole game. But you see, like, I was able to play Galacta and Iska on the last turn of the game, and I still had enough energy for Stardust if I wanted to play her. I ended up swapping out Stardust for Omega Sentinel, another generically strong 4-cost card, but I wanted you to see the clip. I wanted you to see what happens when you pop off, when you do get Zabu, Grandmaster, Namorita, all on the first 3 turns of the game, and you're drawing super cheap 4-costs. There's actually a lot of flexibility with this deck. There are many other good 4s you could swap in, including Stardust, as long as you also swapped out Ensabanur. I really wanted to keep Ensabanur as a way to swap out Zabu and Surge from the board to add some extra strength on the last turn of the game. You just got to make sure that you don't fill Namorita's lane until it's the last turn. It was super fun getting to play with Namarita, and I think she definitely has decks where she's at home. There are even a few I didn't get to try yet. Pixie, Bounce, and Hitmonkey come to mind, but you let me know in the comments. What do you want to play Namarita in? I'll catch you next time. Bye.